What's up, fragrant world? Welcome back to another Stay Fresh production. This is a very special video. I'm actually going to release this video on both YouTube and Instagram because I just want the exposure for these brands. We're talking about black owned brands. Now, I'm not covering the complete expanse of all the black owned brands out there. I'm only talking about the ones that I've got my nose on. However, what I'm going to do in the description, if there are any that I missed that I can come across after this video, I will link all of them down below to check them out. The state of this country in America is undeniable, and more than ever, our black owned businesses need support and deserve support. I highly recommend you check them out, you smell them, just to see what you think. Don't just support them because I'm saying it. I'm talking about these also because I think they do have some great products. They make some beautiful fragrances and they're worth checking out. They're worth your time. They're easy to slip under the radar because of all these other bigger brands and things like that. But highly recommend checking these out. Some of them maybe you've heard of, some of them I've talked about, but most of them I haven't. So let's dive right into it. Okay, so we are talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different brands, which is so cool. 7 brands that I'm hoping to put on your radar if you didn't know about them already. The first thing I'm going to talk about here is an honorable mention because it is not a fragrance that you would put on your body. This brand actually just came out with their first fragrance. I haven't tried it yet, but hopefully I'll be able to do so at some point. This is coming from the house of Sufyan. And this is what I have to show you is their scented mist. They have a few different aromas for this. Oh man, I don't even know how to really describe this, but it's made with all natural materials. We're talking about alkaline water, witch hazels, there's some glycerin, sea salt, olive oil, jojoba oil, tea tree oil, and coconut oil. So you can probably also put this on your body, I believe. I just haven't really done that, but it's great to put in the air, to put on fabric or anything in the room, just to make it smell fantastic. They also make some fantastic glycerin soaps. I had like 4 of them. I used all of them, and they're massive blocks of glycerin. I love the way that they smell. I love the way that they lather. I used all of them. They're all gone. I'll have to get some more, but I highly recommend you check out House of Sufyan. Link will be in the description of the video, either up top on Instagram or down below on YouTube. Highly recommend you check this out. Okay, first fragrance up. This is one of 2 from the house of Anaxus Perfumes, which I think is an awesome name. I'm just pulling up my notes here because I got a lot to talk about, but I'm going to try to go as quickly as I can. So this house was created by Tyreek McDaniel, and he also has a background in technology. In fact, he told me he's getting ready to incorporate some very interesting technology into his new fragrance bottles that I believe are coming pretty soon. But for now, I just have little decants of 2 of his offerings. I think the only 2 that he has. He might have some others. I think he has 1 more, but I only have 2 here. This first one is called JS. This is the little decant here. Just again, little 2 ml decant. And this one, it's interesting. It's like a dusty tobacco. There's a little bit of a sweetness in here. You know, it's not my favorite. I definitely like the other one that he sent me a whole lot better. I don't really get much from it. It's like an earthy, slightly dusty tobacco, almost like a cherry vibe in here. I think I need to spend some more time with it, maybe with the full wearing, to truly get to know it better. But it is unlike anything I've ever smelled before, which is a huge plus. If you're looking for something unique, you will find it here. This one, it's called .js. Not sure what that means, if that's some kind of computer code thing, I'm not sure. So that's the first one up from Anaxus. Again, I love that name. Up next, this is from a brand called King of Spade, and currently they make 2 products. They make a leather wallet, which I haven't tried, but I hear good things about it, and they also make a fragrance. Interesting combination. This is their flagship fragrance called Infatuation. I did recently talk about this in my top 10 indie video for the fall. I think this is a great fall fragrance. I love the quality of this bottle. Thick, heavy glass, decent cap. It's plastic, but it's nice clean label, and really pleasant fragrance. There's a good bit of mint in here and lemon, so it is very bright, pretty aromatic, very fresh, but it does dry down to something a little bit richer and sweeter, probably vanilla, probably some kind of wood in here. I think there's cedar wood and vetiver. So it's not anything totally new, but it is very good quality for what you get. 100 milliliter bottle, I think this is about 50 bucks, 55 bucks. Not bad at all. It is kind of like, it does have a designer appeal to it, but it's very smooth. I do really enjoy this blend. And it's a compliment getter, and it's gonna last you on the skin very well. Easy to please DNA, but very smooth, very great blend, and good performance. What more could you want? That is King of Spade Infatuation. Okay, up next, this one is interesting. I don't have any information on the fragrance itself. This comes from a brand called 621 Noir. And this is from the mind of Sloan. I think that's what she goes by. She's a menswear stylist. She also has some fragrances. She calls this one, I just have a decant, it's called Orphic. I think this might be her bestseller. This is a very interesting fragrance. Again, I don't have any notes here, so I'm just gonna be describing it based on how I initially smelled it. I wrote down some notes here. Basically, I get kind of a fruity, floral, somewhat vanillic fragrance, almost like a dark fruit, maybe like a plum. It's very smooth. It's a little bit fresh, but it is mostly sweet. It does have a richness to it, and there's something almost gourmand in the background. So it's again, great for the fall. It does have again a little bit of a freshness to it, but it is sweet. It's kind of fruity to me, and it has a little bit of a floral nature as well. It is pretty intoxicating. It's a very nice scent, and it's also quite unique. I think a 30 milliliter bottle, this is gonna be about 80 bucks if I'm not mistaken. Again, I just have this little decant, which I think they might sell samples too, I'm not sure, but really pleasant stuff. I would hope to get some more information on it, but if you're looking for something unique for the fall, this is a great one. I think she markets this towards men, but this is totally unisex to me. I think anyone could wear this. So that's just me. That is Orphic from 621 Noir. All right, up next from my good friends at The Elemental Fragrances. Gosh, this stuff is so interesting. This is called Mogul. High quality stuff, a unique scent profile. It is very woody, lots of cedar wood. It's very musky, but it has this, again to me, this like almost warm, semi-chocolatey vibe somewhere in the background. Gosh, dry woods, but it has a creamy smoothness to it from something. And it has a warmth, slight sweetness. Really, really interesting, quite sensual. Maybe not gonna please everyone, but if you wear this on the right occasions, with the right attire, around the right people, this is gonna be really attractive. I really enjoy this. Making some high quality stuff. I think he's coming out with a nice oud fragrance pretty soon, so I can't wait to get my nose on that. But that is Mogul. All right, up next we're talking about my friend Maya Njie. I love her fragrances. If you don't know Maya, I did a whole review on her fragrance house. I will link that somewhere. If you're on Instagram, you might just have to go look on my page. In my IGTV, under the review series, you'll find her review of all her fragrances. I happen to have a travel atomizer of her Nordic Cedar, which I think might be her most popular fragrance. It's too bright to see that. Perfect for the fall. I don't know all the notes that are in here, but it reminds me of an ISOE Super kind of vibe. So you get this woodiness that's very like subtle, kind of like whispering woodiness to it. It's dry, but it has a smoothness, almost a creaminess, but not really. It's very round woods. Not really sweet, and it's almost like, it's a little earthy too. But it's so smooth, and this is a beautiful fragrance. Each one of her fragrances is intended to paint a picture. In fact, it's literally, they will come along with a photograph with a certain color palette that you're supposed to experience as you smell it. This is wonderful. And she makes her fragrances very concentrated. I don't know the concentration. She calls it an eau de parfum, but I would imagine this is probably like 30% or something, which is, that's rich. This is good stuff. This is Nordic Cedar. Again, you're not gonna be able to see, it's too bright. I love a lot of her other fragrances. This is the only one I happen to have a travel atomizer of. The other ones I have little small samples, but I love this one. Really, really beautiful. Okay, second to last here, this is the other offering that I have from Anaxus. This one I really enjoy. This one is called V2. What that means, I'm not sure. But this is a really, really nice fragrance. It's sweet, it's a little dark and woody. It's kind of dry, smooth, and creamy. The notes here, I actually do have the notes for this one. We got sweet apple and rose on the top. We got orris, leather, and tonka, which would kind of explain the creamy sweetness that we get. And in the base we have styrax, tobacco, and resin. So it has a darkness to it. It has a thickness and a richness to it. I don't get much of that apple and rose up top. A little bit of maybe that rose. The apple may be contributing to the sweetness, which I'm mainly getting from tonka. The leather accord is in the heart for sure. It's more of a texture that you get more than the smell of leather, at least to me. It does lend balance to that smoothness, almost a brashness to go with it. It's really, really nice. So again, that is V2. The last one up here, the more I've worn this fragrance, the more I've loved it. It's so versatile. When I catch whiffs in the air, I'm just taken aback by it. It is familiar, but it's also unique. It has an amazing atomizer. It has great performance, and again, a very great smell. I would spray it here, but I think there's some fans on and it would honestly just come right back to my face. But this is Ovation For Men from Sean Crenshaw. The blotter doesn't even do it justice. I do get a spicy cardamom, fresh, cooling, spicy cardamom with tobacco, a bit of like a dark, kind of earthy tobacco, but there's a nice aquatic accord up top with that cardamom that does help to keep a fresh liveliness to it without it being marine-like. It's subtle, but it does add a nice freshness. There's a little bit of woody vetiver. There's some bergamot up top too to kind of keep things bright and open. Oh, and it has a sweetness to it that is so interesting. I'm not sure where that sweetness is coming from. Maybe the cardamom, I'm not sure, but it smells fantastic. It's very, very classy. I think anyone could wear this. It is marketed for men, but ladies, you might like this too. It has a bit of this ambery nature to it that I love. It's just a very classy fragrance, and it's something that's going to get some good attention. It's something that's going to linger very well in the air. It's going to get people asking about you. It just smells very put together. So that's the end of this. These are just some brands I want to put on your radar, some black-owned businesses that deserve some attention for the work that they're doing. They deserve support, especially during this time when black people are just tired of not getting support. So really would appreciate if you at least click on the links, check out what they have to offer, then make a decision for yourself. I just want to steer you in their direction. If you like this video, then if you're here on Instagram, please give me a follow if you happen to see this and you're not following me yet. Here on YouTube, please subscribe if you haven't. Would love to have you back for more videos. I have a bunch of links down in the description of this video here on YouTube or in my bio on Instagram. You can check out where different ways you can interact, different ways you can support me as a content creator to help me continue to do this. I really would appreciate your support just as much as I appreciate your time right now watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next one.